what are some of your favorite solo and team drills?
Right. So when I'm a little alone in the arena, just by myself, I usually just take a quick I just grab the disc from wherever I'm at. Doesn't matter. Just take a shot on the goal as fast as possible. Don't give yourself a lot of time to wind up. Don't give yourself a lot of time to set up the shot, pick a perfect angle, whatever. Just shoot it from wherever you get the disc, right? And then wherever that goes, whether you miss, you make your shot, whatever it is, just track the disc down, get to it as fast as possible, and as soon as you put your hand on the disc, give yourself less than a second to set up and take the shot again. So you're giving yourself not a lot of time. You're giving yourself, you're practicing in a game situation where you might not have a lot of time to either make a pass, make a shot, and you're putting yourself in those high pressure situations in shot positions that you're maybe not super familiar with. And that helps develop your throwing style into something more than just how you throw the disc when you have 10 seconds to line up, but you're sitting in one of the tunnels.
For sure. Another one of the drills that you just showed us was on bubble offense. Would you tell us a bit more about that?
Right, yeah. So what we do is we take 3 people. You take a goalie, a defender, and an offense player, and you give the offensive player the disc somewhere around the middle of the middle of that side of the arena, and you have them just try and drive it in 1v2, just straight up using jukes, using movement, whatever they can. They can take the 3 if they want to, just trying to break through that defender, and then take a shot on the goalie 1v1 and score. And what that helps with is that develops your team to be able to be more comfortable in those situations where if they don't have a pass open, they can push in anyway. And it also helps it so that if your opponents know that everybody on your team is capable of taking those 1v1 positions against a defender, then they're more likely to throw more people on you. If they know that one person might not be enough, even if you only got a 50% success rate on taking those 1v1s, 50% if you're on defense is not really good. It's not good for offense either, but for defense success rate, it's not good either. So they're gonna, if they can afford it, they're gonna throw more people on you, maybe 2 people on you, 3 people on you, whatever they can afford, whatever happens in the spur of the moment. And if they're not confident throwing one person at you, and they throw 2, 3, 4 people at you, obviously not 4 usually, but for simplicity's sake,
Sure.
then you're opening up those passes for your teammates. And that doesn't mean you need to become a team of people who always get the disc and just try and juke into the bubble by themselves. But it's something that you can mix in every once in a while when you see a good opportunity for it. And again, doing this drill will help you notice those good opportunities for it. You'll notice weak points where your opponent makes a misstep, and you can take advantage of that and score just without any passing. And it'll help open up those passes because again, you're putting more pressure on just by being you, and then you're opening up passes for your teammates, and you're able to score when the defense slips up.
So during the drill, you mentioned as you're doing this, you run this 10 times. What's a good amount of percentage for the attacker to win that 1v2?
Right. So we have 3 people doing it. We usually just rotate. The offense gets 10. The offense player gets 10 attempts to push into the bubble. Then we rotate, so everybody's going 10, 10, 10. It's kind of like a game. It's fun. It makes it competitive. It makes it easy to do the drill for hours at a time. And usually, again, like I said earlier, even if you're only scoring 4 out of 10 times on offense, you are still taking 1v2, right? So if you're doing 40%, then the other team in a match maybe isn't going to be able to tell the difference between a 40% success rate and a 50% success rate. So they're just going to roughly translate it at 50%. And then because they're not comfortable with 50% as a success rate, they're going to want to they're going to panic when they see the disc in striking distance, and they're going to potentially throw more people on you than they can afford to. And that opens up your passes. That opens up a lot of options for you.
And then the final drill that you were showing was dealing with a bow tie. Can you tell us a bit more about that one?
Right, yeah. So the bow tie drill is we just have 2 people. It's a passing drill, right? So you've got one person with the disc, one person without the disc. And you usually stay as far away from bow tie as you can. You don't get them on top of it. You don't really use other blocks. And the person with the disc tries to break line of sight with the person without the disc. So you're playing opposite sides of the arena. One person will have the disc, one person won't. The person with the disc is trying to break line of sight. That's imitating a game situation where if the person with the disc is under a little bit of pressure, they don't necessarily have control over where in the arena they can go, where is safe and where's not. So they might have to back it up into a position that cuts them off from you if you're the player who's looking to receive a pass. And so you have to always be ready to try and keep yourself in line of sight. Make sure you're always in open pass for your teammates. And again, if the player can't control what they're doing, you have to be able to be there for them. Make sure you're always in open pass, so that if he needs to get rid of the disc, he knows that you're there because 1, you're open because you're practicing it, and 2, because you're calming as well.
Awesome. Now, another question I have for you is, if we were talking to a new player, someone that's new to the competitive scene, what do you recommend they focus their time and energy on to really improve and be better?
One of the biggest things. So right now, a lot of the it's kind of a weird part of the meta where like new players who are trying to break into like really like making a name for themselves are all focusing on the same two things, and those things are shooting and juking. And because those are the focus of so many people, there's a lot of people who are really good at it, right? So if you can focus on something else, if you can put yourself, if you have a decent talent for being a goalie, if you want to put more time into that, become a really good goalie. If you're a really good, if you're a really good support player, like you're always able to find open passes, you're able to get open when you need to, make defensive stops, read lanes, stuff like that. Things that aren't things that aren't the focus of what like upcoming breakout players are looking for right now. You can actually end up setting yourself setting yourself apart by doing things that people aren't usually doing to set themselves apart. And it puts you in a situation where, because less people are doing it, less people are also looking for it. But that helps you as well, because the people who do notice those maybe those skills that aren't in the spotlight right now are the teammates you want anyway. Because those are the teammates that are looking for the stuff that's not as obvious, and those are the teammates that you really want to have on your team.
Perfect. And that pretty much covers most of the questions that I had. Thank you so much for coming out here today, answering some of us. And we're going to open this up to a bit of Q&A with some of the audience, but this is sort of the end of the interview for this portion. Thank you so much for coming. All that fun stuff.
Sure.